Welcome back everybody to another episode of the GC Informer. I'm Snowy, otherwise known as Count Fracula, bringing you the news. Little channel update first though. No newscast this week, just been too busy. And news-wise, I will be still doing a weekly news in the middle of the week. And today is that day for me. And Mark, because of his work commitments, will no longer be doing the news unless his work can accommodate it, or he can accommodate it in his life, in which case we'll jig around that. And Sarah is now going to be back a bit more, or hopefully a bit more frequently at the weekend for weekend news. Other than that, we are actually planning a new video series. It's not necessarily game related, and we will have a new face or voice on the channel. Hopefully, stay tuned for some more information on that once we know it. Otherwise though, let's crack on with the news of today. We'll start with news on the VR front for those of you who are interested in that kind of thing, and it is Valve on the forefront of VR, as they were anyway in my mind, because they have launched, or they have provided us with very detailed specifications for their new headset, the Index, and given us a release date. And for those of you who are interested in the VR space, you'll know that Valve had quite a hand in helping, not actually developing, but they had a helping hand in the development of the HTC Vive. And while it seems they are still going to be supporting that, this new Index headset is definitely going to be their main priority going forward, it seems. And specifications-wise, it's certainly an upgrade compared to the Vive. Not only that though, it's actually going to be more expensive. Somehow. Well, yeah. A Vive Pro will cost you usually about £800 to £900, whereas a full setup for a Valve Index headset will cost you about £920 or about $1,000. So if you you're gonna have to be rich to afford this, to be honest, or just have a luck with disposable income, which is how I managed to afford my Vive. But for the lucky ones, or for the lucky ones who already own a Vive, if you don't want to buy a whole new headset or a whole new setup, you don't necessarily have to, because the Vive things, all the accessories of the Vive are actually going to be compatible with an Index. And you can actually configure it however you want. You can get a setup which is just the controllers, the new controllers and the headset for about £650, and use the base stations that already have included with the Vive. Or you can get just the headset, even if you just wanted to use the new headset with the improved resolution and the controllers, for I believe £460, which is a very good idea. I really like the fact that they have thought ahead of this and thought that maybe people who bought a VR headset may not want to upgrade everything. They may just want to upgrade one or two bits, and it is quite the upgrade. So let's get into the specifics. The base stations, I keep pointing to mine, you can't see them, but they're up there-ish. The base stations have been improved. They have a much faster tracking rate using better lasers, and they are able to track your movements to a much more precise degree. I don't generally have problems with the Vive most of the time, although it didn't work out when I repositioned my base stations that when my wardrobe is closed, it is a mirrored surface and it bounces off, the lasers bounce off that funny and mess up the tracking. It took me a while to realise what was going wrong with that. Anyway, but yeah, the laser tracking is much better on that, and also the play area. If you have just two base stations, two of the new base stations, your play area can go from anywhere up to, well, anywhere from 1.5 by 2 meters, which is what mine basically is. It's the minimum because that's all the room I have, all the way up to 10 square meters, which is a maddeningly large amount of space, especially when it's only just with 2 sensors. And that's actually twice the range you get with 4 sensors on the Vive Pro, which is quite the upgrade. The actual eye screens are also getting a bit of an upgrade. They are going to be two 1440 by 1600 panels, and that's in comparison to the Vive's 1440p panels that were before that, and the Oculus has even worse. It just has a single 1440p panel. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. But you know, that's the index is better. You know, two 1440 by 1600 is going to be a lot sharper. It's also going to be running at 120 frames a second, as opposed to the Vive's 90 and the Oculus Rift's 70. And it will also have a 20 degrees extra field of view, which, while that might not sound significant, if you are a person who gets a little bit motion sick by using VR because it is a bit screen doory sometimes, this may help a bunch. It may reduce the number of people who receive motion sickness quite a bit, which will probably help with adoption of the technology, to be perfectly honest. So good idea all round. Release date then. There's nothing concrete on the release date that I'm aware of, but pre-orders are now live if you wanted to be that person. I don't. And it will be expected to ship in June, which is really a lot closer than I was expecting, to be honest. Yeah, that's not far away at all. It's less than a month away, funnily enough. It's the 2nd of May today, so where's the year going? Oh boy. Anyway, if you want to get into VR and have the money to spend on the best technology, or if you just want to upgrade what you have already, be it in full or in part, the Vive Index looks like the way to go. It's certainly, if I had the money, what I would buy. And if not, go for a Vive. They are definitely the best alternative. But regardless, yes, the Valve Index looks very good and expected to be out in June. Epic Games now. Strap on if you don't like Epic Games, because this is going to be an interesting ride. They are making waves again within the industry, this time by buying Psyonix, the studio who developed Rocket League. And they've maybe not done the best PR move, as they seem to be doing frequently. Buying the studio is all well and good, but when you consider Tim Sweeney's recent statement of we are going to consider pulling back on the exclusives front if Steam honours this random promise that we're going to come out of nowhere and just bring up. Yeah, the revenue split promise. And this is kind of making that look a bit pathetic now, because in a statement that Epic made when they acquired Psyonix, it did really make it sound like they're going to pull Rocket League from Steam, and I will try and quote it for you right now. The PC version of Rocket League will come to the Epic Games Store in late 2019. In the meantime, it will continue to be available for purchase on Steam. Thereafter, it will continue to be supported on Steam for all existing purchasers. The wording in that is very, very, very definite. That you hear that and you know what that means. It means they're going to pull it from Steam once it goes onto the Epic Games Store, and they're going to continue to support it for the people who already bought it on Steam. And that doesn't sound nice, doesn't sound great. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit biased. I mean, Rocket League is actually my most played game on the Steam. If you look at my Steam account, it is the game with the most hours into it. I don't play it anymore because of what the developers have done to it. They have put like battle passes and, well, not battle passes, sorry, rocket passes in, and pseudo loot boxes, and I'm not really a fan of what they've done in those regards, but it's still a very good, very competent game. And to see this is a bit ugh. But after a lot of backlash, rightful backlash in my mind, about this statement, Epic Games did sort of try and recount, but they did it in a very evasive ways. Like they're not denying it, but neither are they confirming it. The new statement was issued to US Gamer, and it says that Epic Games will continue to sell Rocket League on Steam and have not announced plans to stop selling the game there. Rocket League remains available for purchase for new purchases on Steam, and long-term plans will be announced in the future. So that's not confirming or denying anything, really. It's saying, yeah, we're not taking it off Steam yet, but we may do. Not great. This is a new sort of thing for Epic now, because we've had them steal games from under Steam's nose. We've had them, get them right before launch when they were already available for pre-order. We've had them get games before they were even available on Steam. That bit's sort of fine. I get that. That's fine. But I don't get the whole removing the pre-order Metro Exodus. Not fun. But this is a new one, actually almost threatening to buy a studio and remove that studio's game from Steam retroactively. That strikes me as shady business. Yeah, Epic, while they tout themselves as this amazing company that's rival to Steam, they're really, in my mind, this is my opinion, they are not doing a lot to help nothing they're doing is benefiting the customer in any particular way. All of the stuff that they do benefits the developers. And in some ways that's fine, benefit the indie devs, help them out as much as you want. Indie devs struggle a lot. But you do need to have something to sell to the customer, something unique that they want that will bring them to your store, and just holding things hostage might not be the way to do it on the PC platform specifically. So, as you might have imagined though, Rocket League has already been slightly review bombed on Steam because of this. Shocking nobody, because review bombs are now just a thing that we have to live with, it seems. Regardless, we wish Epic Games and Psyonix the best of luck in their endeavours. Please don't remove it from Steam, guys. That would not be the best idea. Let's end on a light note. In 2012 or 2013, an April Fool's joke was put onto Facebook where the peripherals company Razer were asked to make a toaster because reasons. And they responded saying, if this gets 1 million likes, then we will do so. Haha, if this post to make a toaster gets 1 million likes, we'll do it. And they also put a caveat on that poster saying that if someone gets a Razer toaster tattoo and posts that is the equivalent of 100,000 likes. Well, 5 or 6 years, or 6 or 7 years, 12 tattoos and 45,000 extra likes later, they have reached that goal. And apparently, according to the CEO of Razer, that toaster is going to be made. I don't know if they're going to make this as a commercially available product. I kind of think they'll make a limited run of them and it will be available as this limited thing that you can only buy 10 of. Knowing Razer, it would be a shit ton of money because that's a very Razer thing to do. But expect a lot of RGB and matte black. Matte black's not a great idea for a toaster actually, because heat absorption. Ooh, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But yes, I just kind of like this story. I think it's very funny. It amuses me a lot because it's just this weird April Fool's thing that was put in place, 6-7 years ago, and it's coming to fruition. Yeah, great. So if you wanted a Razer toaster that badly, it's gonna happen. I don't know why, but it's gonna happen. That brings us to the end of this episode of the GC Informer, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like, subscribe, share, whatever you fancy. Our social links are down in the description. Stay tuned to GameCast for news, reviews, podcasts, lots of great content. And also, just a quick plug on my channel, I did a photo restoration video, like a time lapse of me restoring an old photograph of Sully's actually, that I'm quite proud of. So please go and have a look at that if you fancy. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time for something else.